This works. Hello, 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 people. Sorry about that. All right. So it's Monday, and are back to the money talk. We're back to the money talk. So this Monday, hey, Trini Cherry. So this Monday, we're going to be talking business and budgets. So this is the time of the year where everybody's focused on holiday. Oops, I forgot to hit live on MP. This is the time of year where everybody is talking about the holidays, right? They're thinking about gifting. They're talking about spending money leisurely. But this is actually the best time of year if you are in business to be thinking about your business budget. So this is the time of year where all of these holiday trends, yes, a number of them are catered towards just being a consumer, but there are plenty of them with businesses in mind. So it was a technical issue and some other stuff that happens. Do apologize for a little bit of a delay. I believe early is on time and on time is late. So the fact that we started after 8 p.m., tomato, tomato. But so this time of the year is a perfect time of the year if you are in business, if you are thinking about starting a business, if you are trying to get certain types of moving pieces in place for your business, to really capitalize on the fact that every business is trying to attract new consumers, get new previous consumers back spending with them, things of that nature, right? So this is the time of year where normally buying all our business cards, getting all our new signage, doing any rebranding. This is a time of year where you're able to get the same business supplies you may need for the summer or may need for the beginning of the year for literally half the price, a third of the price. So this is a perfect time that if you are in business to start assessing your budget, right? This is a great time that if you feel like you made too much profit and you're going to be trying to assess how to cut your tax liability. This is a great time of the year to be getting all your business supplies for next year because they now become deductible for January. So that becomes a really significant one if you are in business. A lot of little moving pieces become significant. This is the time of year where you can start doing take extra initiatives. You figure out what type of incentives you want to start now to do to allow for people to benefit in January. You can definitely write a lot of stuff off your balance sheet now, even if it's not going to apply until next month. So it becomes super beneficial to you that way. This is the time to assess how you performed. If you need to consider any new rebranding, if you need to consider any new products or services you want to implement, if you want to be able to renegotiate your pricing on something that you offer, whether it's your side hustle, it's your main business, this is a great time to do that. If you've had some passive income you've been making, right? But it's technically not legitimized. This is a great time of the year to invest in the minimal things that'll cost to structure that business more formally, like your DBA in your county or things of that nature. You want to do whatever you can to get your tax liability down, because what's going to happen with the change of political leaders, the push for different types of tax structuring are going to go into place. This is a great time of the year. If you're in business and you have a lot of profit, to invest. It's a really great time to invest. If you feed into opportunity zones, this is your moment right now. If you have some liquidity, if you have some gains from something, if you have just extra cash sitting around, this is a really great time to take those funds and put them into new wealth building strategies. One of the huge things that was done, the opportunity zone legislation that was passed for people with profit in mind. So if you are doing things that are generating profit right now, opportunity zones are a great method that you can use right now, or even an opportunity fund, right? You don't even have to pinpoint the exact opportunity zone at this very moment. You can literally take that money right now and put it in an opportunity fund, and that will put you ahead of the game by the time next year kicks in, to be able to take advantage of the different incentives that are going to come, right? Those are little ways to cut your overhead demands. Those are little ways to kind of leverage your balance sheet now. Get some zeros and some commas off your balance sheet now. So when tax about liability is assessed, is far lower, right? They only tax what you have. Ultimately, 9 times out of 10, they only tax what you have after deductions. And so that's the amazing part about being a business versus an individual. Like Uncle Sam take his 20, 30, 40% up front. As a business, well, they're like, okay, well, technically, what do you have to show for it? And if you're making the right moves right now, you're not gonna have too much to show for it on the balance sheet. And while that sounds discouraging to some people in business, because they're like, we're in business to make money. Well, you live off of you run a business 9 out of 10 to be able to afford to live. And so you having the leverage of being able to pay all your bills before you count your income, it gives you a foot up, right? Everybody has to pay their rent, everybody has to pay for transportation, everybody has to pay for food, everybody has utilities to cover. But if you structure your stuff adequately as a business right now, it's going to put you in a place where it's like you did all of that, and then you had $10,000. And that $10,000 is what's being taxed versus you having, let's say, 70,000, $60,000 in expenses for the year, and that whole 70,000 being taxed. It is really important to understand how that leverage can be very beneficial to you, your goals, your desires, and your overall financial portfolio. It makes you move differently when you have it liquidly to spend as you need before all of the taxation and things come into play. So it becomes super, super important for you to say, all right, let me look at my balance sheet. Let me look at what my demands were. Let me look at what I need to re-up. Right. So if you're a business that comes with products or services or supplies you require, this is the time to consider those things. Don't wait until you are at a place where January hits and February hits and you're like, all right, now I need to restock. No, why would you wait till then? You're losing money on both sides. One, you're losing money because you don't really get the incentives of it in a timely fashion, right? You don't get to take advantage of any of the deductions in a timely fashion. But secondly, they're not going to have no sales in February like they have now. Whatever you use or whatever you find that you spend the most money on, go check those sites right now. Like if you haven't attended any of our courses, we put a big emphasis on taking advantage of cashback incentives, right? So that's going to be your Ibotta or your Rakuten or one of the plugins like well, Rakuten has one, but so does Honey, and at this point, Microsoft Edge has their own. And so all of these little things, one, they're gonna deep dive into the World Wide Web to find you discounts. There are tons of discounts there because even places that are catered towards business supply services, they have things for consumers. They need to be able to tap into that consumer driven nature when businesses are kind of tightening their belts. If you really want to tighten your belts, then you spend less to get more, right? We bought our business cards for next year today. Our business cards for next year, we bought twice the quantity and still spent a third less than we had to pay for this year's, just by doing it this time of the year, where other people are focused on consumer stuff. Like, yes, there's the deals out there. You want your new flat screen, your new fry cooker, your new little what was popping, babe? That new little whatever, that all in one uh crock pot, steamer fry, blah blah blah. That's fine. But this is a time for you to restructure the things that make you money instead of costing you money. Like, it's cool to be a consumer, but your consumption on the personal level should never exceed your consumption when it comes to things that can generate revenue and increase your net worth and increase your abilities on the other side of life. So that this is the time we say, look, if you don't normally get on a computer figure out how to download all the apps. If you don't got space in your app, your apps, learn how to use the web browser on your phone to access these things, because then you can maximize access to those plugins, which is going to give you access to the extra added discounts, which is going to cut your overhead, right? And because it's December, this is a really great time that if you have not done your budgeting, if you don't know what your deductions are for the year, this is a great time to start downloading those apps like Stride, where you can just upload all your receipts to it. And they'll create the report for you and break it down by different deductibles in your industry. This is a great time to look through your bank statements or assess what you paid for and what was business related in any regard versus what was personally, which was personal, right? The pandemic is really in full effect. So if you do business from home, if you do business, if you find yourself having to do a lot of mobile business or having to deal with a lot of consumers or coming in contact with like personally coming in contact with customers, this is a great time for you to be able to maximize a lot of the discounts that are even offered on sanitation stuff like hand soap. We wait until December when when like Bath and Body Works and stuff like that are doing their huge end of the year sales, and we wait until it goes to its rock bottom price, and then we buy enough for the rest of the year. And for the rest of the year, I mean until this time next year. And so one, it becomes an immediate tax deduction. Now, sanitation stuff, PPE, is considered a necessary need for anybody that does any type of business that comes in contact that requires any type of human contact. Your hand sanitizers, your hand soaps, your shields, your little face masks, those are all business expenses if you have to come in contact with people, because PPE is a fundamental need, right? So those are things that are now tax deductible. You get to get the best of the best while it's marked down. You get to double back, right? We bought our hand soaps. We used, I believe, Ibotta's like Cashback or something, and we ended up getting like 5% back on it. Oh, that's another thing. Right now, all of the sales are going on for business supplies, but so are the holiday incentive cashbacks. So we bought the business supplies. We bought the business supplies at, I believe, 50% off, right? But on top of that, we got 13% back in cash back, right? So we're winning on both sides. We're automatically getting this cash. And what did we tell you about cash back? It is non-taxable. So it's literally free money coming back to you on the front end while you're doing all this holiday shopping. This is your short-term check, right? Because they're going to run you a check for the cash back. And then on the back end, next month, when it's time to start talking about how much you made, you now have additional deductions to add to that list almost overnight. So those become super imperative for us, especially if you don't want to just be out here trying to rob Peter to pay Paul because you spent all the money that you made in the middle without accounting for it adequately, or without having enough expenses to compensate for it. So those become super imperative. The budgeting, if you do not budget, I would take some of the downtime that a lot of industries have. This is a great time to start budgeting. This is a great time to do the retroactive looking at your bank statements, at your Cash App, at your PayPal, at your Square, whatever you use if you deal with consumer engagements, to start getting those reports pulled out. You want to know, you don't just want to know how much you made. If you deal with any type of merchant service that charges you fees, you need to know what those fees are, because those are tax deductible as well. And you don't want those to be under acknowledged because they just come with the territory of dealing with that merchant. Another one is going to be, this is the time you need to assess what have you done with your business. If you did any filings this year, find them receipts. It's time to go deep diving for all of your filing receipts. So if you started your LLC this year, now go look for those documents, those receipts or documents connected to that LLC formation. If you have a PO box, anything like that, you need to find those documentation now. Don't let us make it to next year, especially if you have a good accountant. My accountant, he loves to just see the long number. He got that, fancy schmancy calculator that prints out the paper, all the numbers. But I'm telling you, he loves me more when I pull up to him with 3 different business tax filings and my personal filings and referrals, and he just needs to key in the main number. Right. If you have been doing a lot more vendor stuff, that's been a huge thing this year. Everybody has dealt with everybody has either attended or been a vendor at a buy black event. Everything is a business deduction if you are there and you are networking. Your food, your consumptions, whatever goods you bought, right? We easily spend $150 at every Black vendor event we attend, whether we're a vendor or whether we're just there's a consumer. So all of that is deductible on both sides. Why? Because we're constantly telling people about our business, right? So now all of those things, you have to be able to account for them. You may not be able to say exactly who you talk to, but you can say, I attended this event, I was doing this, I covered this, and this about our business during this event, or blah, blah, blah. But you need to still have those numbers. Don't let all of that, oh, I was just kind of moving on a whim, I didn't think about it. And I'm about to put y'all onto this hack, right? So 99% of people are working from home right now. Okay. 99% of people can run their businesses from home right now. If you leave the house, and whether you are doing something business related or whether you discuss something business related while you are out, all of that mileage automatically becomes tax deductible mileage everywhere you went, right? So yeah, for a really good example, yesterday night we went grocery shopping. We hit um we hit the mall to grab the hand soap. We hit Target to grab groceries, and we hit Food Lion to grab groceries. Now, you guys have seen them. You guys know about them. We came out with our shirts. So our Black ownership, our Black breaking the cycle, our Black economic empowerment, and our Black investing matter shirt, right? So while we were out at these events, while we were out at these places in the mall, we wear our shirts everywhere if we're out, right? In the mall, somebody complimented my shirt. I told her, I said, oh, we sell these. You can definitely check out our website. I gave her a card. Bing, bang, boom. The trip to the mall now is a tax deduction. And the trip back home. So we hit Target. Somebody referenced our shirt again. Oh, we like your shirts. I said, oh, we sell them. Gave her a card. Bing, bang, boom. The trip. So the mall, even the mall to Target is now a tax deduction, even though we stopped, right? So now that's a tax deduction. Those miles count too. And then hit Harris Teeter, right? There was a technical issue with the register. So by the time we made it to checkout, the girl mentioned my shirt again. I said, oh, we make it. Our company teaches this stuff. Bing, bang, boom. The entire trip now is tax deductible mileage, just off of me acknowledging my company while moving, right? Now, if I really wanted to be savage, right? If you guys know, my daughter, we brought her on to the company as a brand awareness specialist, right? So she's ultimately an in-house brand ambassador for the company, and she is on payroll. She has equity in the company off of this, right? So the second place at Target, when the person asked about my shirt, like I said, oh, we sell them, and then my daughter went in. So technically, I can now deduct a commission from our company off of the services rendered at this random brand ambassador engagement, right? So these now become deductions that I can also take off the payroll balance sheet. So it's really important for you to know your business and to capitalize on that. This time of year, a lot of people have spent way more time at home, which is fine. But if you're leaving the house and you know your business and you have the capacity, especially if you have a business that can kind of be in somebody's face to some extent, like you can wear it, or you can have it on something that you are carrying with you, or you might even just have a pen or pencil that's engraved with it that you sign for a place, and they're like, oh, you got your own pen. That catches people off guard now. It catches people off guard for you to have your own pen. But the better part about you having your own pen is, I'd be like, oh yeah, these are my company pens. So it now allows for you to pray, insert a business engagement into the dialogue that would have probably just cost you money, right? So those are now things you get to pull off your balance sheet. Right now, the name of the game is as much as you can get without costing you too much. ROI. Everything you do, every move you make, it should be strategically done in a way where you can get a ROI, whether it's on the front end with actual monetary contributions or sales or whatever, or whether it's on the back end. Because a dollar in your pocket that remains in your pocket and out of Uncle Sam's pocket is even more valuable than that dollar that has to be reimbursed to you. Like, I will take a huge deduction over a refund check any day. Any day. So that's really how you have to think about it. And that's really how you have to look at your business budget. And quite frankly, that's how you have to look at your life budget. We did grocery shopping yesterday. In our 11 money saving and budgeting tips that we posted on all the social media platforms, we talk about cashback. Like, cashback is cool, but there are some apps that will, and some different cashback-ish programs that'll just give you the discount on the front end or pay that portion of the bill on the front end for you. That's even more valuable. Money you never have to say bye to is an amazing thing. So it's important to just check. Like, it's so much money that gets wasted. And then once you know what you didn't know, you're like, man, you start doing the math. Like, it's no point in allowing those numbers to accumulate when you can just save it. Like, I don't care how much I can flex on a person. It's way more peaceful to know I have it and don't need it than it is to prove that I have it. So those are the things for today. With everybody kind of just getting around to the end of their holiday shopping, or getting around to the beginning of their holiday shopping, apparently. This is the time. If you don't normally use your computer or your tablet, get on it. Add those attachments. Add those plugins like Rakuten and Honey. Oh, Thomas, yours disconnected. Add those plugins to your computer or laptop or tablet, so that way the browser will automatically populate all of them. If you have a laptop with a Microsoft Edge browser, I'm going to tell you something that I found out today that caught me off guard. Microsoft Edge now has its own kind of built-in plugin that runs once you get in a browser, it automatically checks all of the sites for deals on you for the best discount, and it'll automatically apply all of them until it finds the best. The Microsoft Edge plugin for those discount tracking has shown up to be way better than even the Rakuten one. Now, the awesome part is you can use those together, right? I activated the Rakuten 10% cash back promotion, and Microsoft Edge auto apply the 50% discount. So I knew that money was coming from the Rakuten. The 10% was coming no matter how much I paid. And then Microsoft Edge got me truly the best deal at the 50% off. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going to assume it's because it rained today. So my apologies. It is also going to be on YouTube. YouTube is the only one on a hardwired connection. So that one should not give you guys issues if you have to look back at it there. But that would also be a way to go. Now, in the event I'm saying all these like random cashback things, y'all are like, you have no idea what I'm talking about, check our post. Look for the 11. They're posted separately. Every tip is posted separately because it's too much to have as a single post. But check out 11 tips. Cashback will have all of the ones with the potential plugins or apps you can have. Oh, that's so bad. Okay. 1 second. Let's see if this helps. It may not. YouTube, are y'all with me? Can y'all hear me good? I see people here too. Sorry. Okay. That one should get better. Or not. Or maybe it'll break altogether. Maybe I broke it. Okay. Um, yeah, I broke Instagram. My bad, y'all. So anyway, if you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say all of this stuff, check the 11 tips. Or if you have a hard time like tracking these names and trying to figure out exactly what I'm discussing, check the 11 tips, because the 11 tips are going to have exactly um, the specific resources listed in them. At least most of them. Some of them are not. Some of them are only in the life course. Won't be having another one of those to the end of next month. So if but I'm 99% sure all of the ones I just mentioned are somewhere within those 11 tips. So that would be my first place I would recommend to go to look for it. And then that way, if you still have shopping to do, if you still have gifts to buy, if you are just trying to get your business stuff together, do it now. And when I say that, I'm saying that to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars next year waiting, right? Do it now. Um, a lot of people are given a lot of leeway. If you currently have credit cards and you've been doing what you were supposed to be doing with them, right? Especially if you have cashback cards, this is a great time to have them reviewed for a credit limit increase, because we talk about those credit cards and we talk about the cashback credit cards are the ultimate ROI, right? You use the coupon code, you left the plug-in automatically generate some cash back for you on that side, and then your credit card too is also going to give you the cash back on the back end as well. So you got three different money saving avenues there. You saved money in your initial budget, and you now have money coming back to you from an alternative source. So yeah, that's the name of the game. Apparently, I broke out internet tonight. So this is it. We love you guys to life. We hope that these money tips, this budgeting and business tips that we discussed tonight can be of use to you and can help equip you a little bit better to thrive in the next year. We want to see you win. Don't give up until you do. If you ever need assistance, definitely reach out to us. That's why we're here. We are about the collective economic empowerment, not just increasing our own bank account, and we're not going to stop in that mission. Alrighty, so I love you guys to life and enjoy the rest of your week. If you are in the North Carolina area, let me make sure to say this. There are two vendor events happening, two all Black vendor events happening. One in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Melanated Market Exchange. That one is happening on Saturday, December 19th, 2020. The second one is happening in Raleigh, North Carolina on December 20th, so Sunday. And that one is by Black Flea Market, and that's going to be, if I think, the holiday market. So if you are in either of those areas, definitely come out. If you guys need more details, we have posted it on all of our social media platforms. You can see the exact addresses and times there, but definitely support those. I will tell you guys, we've attended both, and there's a super diverse makeup of the vendors. You can truly get almost anything you could possibly need from those events, whether it's cosmetics, household goods, no, not groceries. I haven't seen those at the flea market or Melanated Exchange. School materials, learning materials, beverages. They got mobile bartenders, the works. Truly a mix of everything: clothing, kid friendly stuff, food, the works, quite frankly. So if you're in the area, definitely you guys can attend either of those, or let other people know. Make sure that these Black vendor events can be supported from people near or far, whether they they know somebody connected to it personally or not, this is what allows for these things to go nationwide as a cultural trend. So that was it. Love you guys to life and have a great night. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, ooh, ooh.